What's up, YouTube? It's Ellie here, and I want to talk about social dysphoria and being misgendered. Um, yeah, so my name is Ellie. I'm a non-binary or genderless person or agender or whatever you want to call it. I don't have a good word for it, and I don't care too much for the word that you use. um, I'm on a transition journey from being where I am now to a more androgynous presentation, and I'm taking testosterone for it. If you've watched any of my other videos and you're surprised that my accent has changed, then yeah, like I said, it's a nervous thing. I can't help it. English is not my first language. It's just whatever I hear more on TV, that's what comes out my mouth. So it's been American TV for the last week. Anyway, social dysphoria and being misgendered. So, as a non binary person, uh, you don't always present as the same sex. I mean, you could either present as the sex you were assigned at birth, or you could present as the opposite sex, or you could present ambiguously. Either way, there's a way to misgender you, which people do. Um, so, what I want to talk about is, for example, uh, let's do each case. So if someone is if someone is dressed ambiguously and you assume their gender without asking them, then it's a 50-50 shot that you'll be misgendering them. I don't feel too strongly about that. I feel that if I've worn half and half and I'm not really readable as anything, then it isn't really fair to expect people to get it right, because some days I want them to refer to me as male and other days I would be happier if they referred to me as female, but I don't feel strongly either way. And then you have uh, the days that you are dressed as the opposite sex, where for me that would be dressed as male because I was assigned female at birth. So days that I go out looking like a dude, strictly looking like a dude, like with a binder on and a hell of a butch shirt and eyeliner on my eyebrows or something, then I feel that it isn't rude if someone refers to me in a female. Like, I'm not surprised when they refer to me in a male, but I'm not offended when someone refers to me in a female, because that just means to me that their definition of womanhood is broad enough to encompass women that have, I don't know, a very butch tasting clothes, and that's okay. That's great. That's wonderful. I would prefer that to being 100% read as male when I'm dressed as male, just in my private world, because it shows me that people are more accepting. The one thing I do find insulting and hurtful is when people refer to me as, as male when I am overtly dressed as female. What I mean is, if I have a dress on and makeup, which I have known to do, I do that just about as 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 often as I wear a suit and a packer. I never wear packer, but I mean, I have been known to wear suits, and I've been known to put on some high heels and rock that, and yeah, every once in 200 years or blue moon, I will present as fully female. And then always, but I mean, this always happens. This is so strange. People still refer to me in the male form. In Hebrew, it's a lot more distinct than it is in English, because we gender everything. Like, most nouns have a gender, and people, of course. And then there is no neutral. Also, every verb that you conjugate, you don't just conjugate for time and plural or singular, you also conjugate for male or female. So it's really, really hard to speak to someone without naming their gender. And it's happened to me a multitude of times that I was outside wearing a dress or a leotard with makeup on. I'm talking full frontal, like my eyes are done up and my lips are red and everything, and someone would walk up to me and either speak to me in the male or ask me if I were male or female, or go right by me, next to me, arguing loudly with their friends, whether debating the subject, whether I was male or female, and that's not cool. That is hurtful. That hurts me a lot. And I was talking to my girlfriend about that, and I told her that some kids uh, were like speculating on my gender a while ago when I was doing, like, 2 nights ago, when I was doing a show and I was wearing a shiny leotard and some makeup, and um, these kids in the crowd, they were like, "Is that a boy or a girl?" for like half the show, and it was terrible. And she told me, "But I thought that's what you wanted. I thought you wanted to be half and half, to be gender ambiguity incarnate, and this is why you're taking testosterone, and why are you upset about this?" And the point that I was having a hard time making to her, and that I had to formulate to myself, is that while I do wish to appear more androgynous, I don't think that there is anything inherently androgynous about me right now. I don't think that I look male. I don't think I sound male. I don't think there's anything about me that is actually confusing. I think anyone who thinks I'm a guy, or just because of the style of clothing that I wear, or no, you know what, the style of clothing, fine, okay, never mind. I don't think anyone could think I was a man if they saw me naked, you know? And what these people are doing when they see me dressed as a woman, and then they still go about asking my gender, or calling me male, is that they are passing a very harsh judgment on what a woman is and should look like. And I am tall and athletic, and my hair is cut short, and they're passing a judgment on tall athletic women with short cut hair, saying that my, or should I say our, womanhood is somehow flawed innately, because my body is fit the way it it I mean, I just did. I've been on testosterone for like 2.5 weeks. This isn't the tea. This is me. This is what I looked like before tea, because I haven't changed yet. This is what my body is like when I'm fit. And what they're saying is that basically, this isn't a woman anymore. You're too muscular. You, your jaw is just too angular, or your voice is too assertive. You cut your hair too short. You're not a girl anymore. This is a cultural thing. This hasn't happened to me traveling in China or in Denmark or in Berlin. You know, this is an Israeli thing. They stare at you and they ask you and they get in your pants, and it's extremely offensive. And I wish they wouldn't do it. I am considering to just immigrate away from here just to get this to stop happening, because it's eating me up. And it's happened since I was a kid, you know, ever since I got my first short haircut, it's been happening. Anyways, anyone who mistakes me for male while I'm wearing women's clothes is a chauvinistic, misogynistic, oppressive piece of shit. Like, this is so heavy on my soul, I have to say this. It's so hurtful when people do that. I know I'm gender fluid or agender or whatever. I know it. But it has nothing to do with my body. My body is female. I am a female bodied person. I have breasts. I have soft skin. I have a high pitched voice, which is a little hoarse now because I'm hoarse, I know. And yeah, I just had to say that. So, this one time, I train little girls, and after training, after practice, aerial silk practice, which is hella graceful. And little girls who do it are running around in full body leotards, and it's really hard to get a boy to come to my class because it's such a girly sport. And after class one day, one of the mothers of the girls that I teach came up to me, and she said, you know what, my girl really loves your class, and she trains so much. I'm just worried if she's not gonna turn out, and she just left that statement hanging over there, and it's was obvious. It was extremely obvious that she was referring to my frame, that she didn't want her child to grow up and have my frame, and be broad-shouldered the way I am. And this woman, mind you, had a haircut buzzed way shorter than mine, but I guess she still felt like it was cool to police me. Anyways, I told her, no, everyone puts on muscle differently, and this sport does not determine the way your physique is going to develop. That was so shitty, it was just so insulting and shitty that it happened like 2 years ago, and I still remember that. I still have that kid in my class though. She's wonderful, and she's growing up beautiful, so no worries there. Yeah. Anyways, thank you for watching. Sometimes I make these videos just to get something off my chest, so this was a rant like that. Yeah. And this is a huge mountain of sand that I found, so I think it's cool. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and